this is Cindy. I have a really fun card to share with you today. I'm going to be teaching you how to make a punch art mermaid card. So let's get started. All right, we're going to start with this circle here. This is a 1.5 inch circle punch, and I'm going to stamp it with one of the images from this adorable, cute fruit stamp set. I'm going to use one of these two little smiley faces here. Okay, so let's get our Memento ink, and then I'm going to take that smiley face and I'm going to stamp it on that 1.5 inch circle kind of close to the bottom. The next thing I want to do is add some rosy cheeks. So I'll be using the dark Petal Pink Stampin' Blends marker, and I'm just going to draw some rosy cheeks on there like that. Okay, now let's work on the mermaid's body. So I have a punch from the story label. Now the story label punch and this 1.5 inch circle are both punched out of Petal Pink cardstock. All right, now with this same story label punch, I also punched a piece of DSP. So this DSP comes from the Whale of a Time Designer Series paper, and this is gorgeous 6x6 sheets of paper that is perfect for this mermaid card today, as you can see. All right, so I've taken a small piece of that and punched it out, and the first thing that we'll do is take this DSP and I'll take the 1.5 inch circle punch and I'm going to just punch a little nip out of the top of the punch like that. So now we have these two pieces ready. So I'm going to take my liquid glue and then I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back of this piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this together. Okay, so now we need to work on the tail. So I have Petal Pink cardstock that I punched with the Perennial Flowers punch. And I also did the same thing with this punch. I punched it with the Petal Pink cardstock, and then I also punched it with that DSP. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some liquid glue on the back of this. And then I'm going to mount these two together. So now that I have the DSP on the punch, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of liquid glue just to this top petal right here. And then I'm going to stick this underneath here and just adhere that together. Okay, very good. All right, now let me move this down so you can see it. So now I have the face, so I'm gonna go ahead and adhere a mini glue dot, and I'm going to adhere this to the top of the body like that. Okay, so great, this is coming together. Next thing that we're gonna do is add the arms. So the arms have been made with the Tulip Builder punch, and then I'm gonna put these on with glue dots as well. So I'll pick them up, add a glue dot, and then I'm gonna just carefully tuck them underneath like that. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Add our glue dot, and then we'll just tuck this underneath. Very good. Okay, so next is the big hair. So we are gonna start with a base of a 2.25 inch circle of pumpkin pie. And so I'm gonna pick up the mermaid and flip her over, and then I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive here at the back of her head. And then I'm gonna lay her right there on top of that 2.25 inch pumpkin pie circle. Okay, so now that she's drying there, we're gonna take two more pieces of pumpkin pie cardstock. These are punched with the Apple Builder punch. And then I'm gonna add some glue dots. I'll put 2 glue dots on these. And it's totally up to you. If you feel more comfortable with liquid glue, you can use that as well. And I'm gonna put this right behind that circle and behind the body like that. So it looks just like that. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, we'll lift this up and we'll tuck this right behind her back. All right, so now we have her hair cascading down like that. And then we're gonna add the bangs. So I have one more of the pumpkin pie cardstock that's been punched with the Apple Builder punch. I'm going to add 2 dimensionals to that, and then we will put the bangs right here on the front. And I kind of just wanna turn them a little bit and then just have that hanging over the top like that. So it looks like a big cascading hair on our little mermaid. Okay, so she's basically done. You could use her on any card front just as she is, but it might be fun to adorn her with rhinestones or put a flower in her hair. And so I wanted to show you another mermaid card I created. So this card right here was one that I created from the June 2020 paper pumpkin kit. As you can see, I used one of the images from that kit to create a crown. Now in this kit, there also was a stamp set that you could create this sun image. So for this mermaid, I'm going to use that sun stamp from my June paper pumpkin kit to create a crown. So I'm going to take this image that I've stamped on Bumblebee cardstock with black ink, and I'm going to cut this in half. And then I'll take my paper snips and I'm just going to cut out a semicircle. So I'll just follow that black line that's on the sun image, like so. Okay, so then I'm going to add some little mini dimensionals to this. So now she has her little crown, and next thing we're gonna do is add our embellishments. Now I love these new elegant faceted gems and the champagne rhinestones. So I'm gonna use both of them for this. So I'm gonna start with the medium size of the champagne rhinestones, and I'm just gonna go on every other one of these points on her crown and add a rhinestone. And then I'll do the same with these elegant faceted gems. I'll start with a small one here, and then I'm gonna put a large one here. I'll put another large one here, and then I'll put a small one here. And so you can see she looks super cute with that sparkly crown. Now, let me show you how we're gonna put her on the front of the card. So I have a pool party piece of cardstock that I folded in half. So I showed you the gorgeous 6x6 paper. So the piece that I'm going to use for this card looks like this. Now this piece was 6x6. So what I did is I cut it down so that it would be 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. And then this is the scrap that was left over. This is 2 inches by 5 1/4. And we're going to use both of these pieces on this card. So I'm going to take this piece here and we're going to stamp it with an image from the Whale Done stamp set. We'll be using this stamp here, as well as this sentiment and the little fish stamp as well. All right, so let me get my Memento ink pad. I'm going to ink it up with this stamp, and I'm going to stamp in this corner, and it's gonna say, "You're kind of a big deal." Okay, so then I'm going to take and flip this over. I will add my adhesive to the back, and then I'm going to press this onto the front of the card. All right, so now it is time to add our little mermaid on the front. So we gotta put lots of dimensionals. So I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna stick these dimensionals in strategic places so that it'll help to secure the punched pieces that you can see on the back. Okay, and now she's ready to get mounted onto the front of our card. Perfect. Okay, so now let me show you the inside of the card. So I'm gonna open up the card. I'm gonna take that extra piece of cardstock that we had, and on this side of the cardstock, I'm going to add some adhesive. Then I'm gonna stick this in here like so. Well, these fish are going in all different directions, so you can choose which direction that you want it to go. All right, once you have your cardstock in there like that, let me put this to the side. The next step is going to be to punch another story label punch out of Whisper White cardstock. Then I'm gonna do some stamping with the sentiment that comes in the Whale Done stamp set. And that's gonna say, "Hoping all your birthday fishes come true." And then I'm gonna stamp these fish using Pool Party ink. So this will coordinate with the cardstock base. I'll ink up the little fish. I'm gonna stamp them in the corner. I'm gonna stamp them right over top of those words, and then I'm gonna stamp them again, coming down here and cascading down the bottom of the card like that. So, all right, so now that the words are done, we'll add some more adhesive to the back of this tag, and then we will press this tag right here in the center of the card. Okay, so our mermaid card is done. Isn't that cute? So before I finish this video, I wanted to show you one other thing. So you can see that I made the crown using that June 2020 sun stamp from the Paper Pumpkin kit. So I wanted to show you another way you can finish this card using punches. So here's another option for this card. You can see that I used some different Stampin' Up! Punches to create a different type of a crown for this mermaid. I used the sprig punch with some of our new brass foil sheets. I used the apple builder punch to punch these little leaves out of the Just Jade cardstock. I used our small blooms punch to punch this magenta little flower for her hair. And then for these tiny little flowers here, those were made with our new confetti border punch. That's really cute. And then of course I adorned all of this with our champagne rhinestones. Well, I hope that you enjoyed learning how to make these two cute cards today. I hope that I've given you some ideas on how you can creatively use your Stampin' Up! Punches to create some fun punch art. I look forward to stamping with you again very soon. Aloha!